Hi there, this is Josh Bryant over at churchgeneralcounsel.com. I wanted to take just a couple of seconds and talk to you real quick about child protection and vulnerable adult protection policies in your church. You know, it's unfortunate, but this is the number one reason that churches end up in court, is that a child is sexually abused in the church. And so the question is not why would you have an attorney draft your child protection policy, considering it's the number one reason churches end up in court. The question is, why wouldn't you have an attorney draft that document? So let's talk about that real quick. First of all, you need an attorney who has some experience drafting documents that insurance companies want to see. That's especially the case in this context if you want something called a supplemental sexual incident policy. There are certain guidelines that insurance companies want to see in that child protection policy, and you need an attorney who knows what those guidelines are and what they want to see. Second of all, you're going to need an attorney who can draft a policy that preserves evidence for two reasons. Number one, law enforcement will need evidence. And if something like this happens in your church, the one thing you don't want to do is impede law enforcement. And so you want a policy that will provide evidence to law enforcement and prosecutors who will seek justice on behalf of this victim. But also, you're going to want evidence that protects your church. There are so many different things you can do throughout the process of recruiting and supervising a volunteer that works with children in order to put yourself in the best position to make sure that nothing bad happens to that child. And so in order to do that, you're going to need some evidence, some documentation that you took those steps, and that can lessen the blow in the event that your church gets sued. And finally, you need somebody with some pastoral experience to draft one of these documents that can help you make sure that it is operationally manageable. You know, you can put all sorts of security precautions in this policy in order to put yourself in the best possible position to protect a child. But there is no worse policy than one that is drafted and not followed. And so if you don't have the manpower, if you don't have the systems, if you don't have the facilities, all those things that are very unique and specific to your church, if you don't have the things necessary to fulfill that policy and something bad happens, you're not only negligent, but you're grossly negligent. And that can create all sorts of additional problems that don't need to be there for you. And so you need an attorney who can help you draft a document that you can carry out and enforce on an ongoing basis. Now, there is a whole lot more information on child protection policies in our client-only area. If you need some help on this, I hope you'll subscribe to churchgeneralcounsel.com. Let me help you make sure that your children, that the vulnerable adults in your church are protected from sexual predators. All right, I know that's a heavy topic, but I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks so much for taking a minute to watch this quick video. God bless you. Have a great week.